morning everyone. So in the last class we have discussed about the P chart with varying sample size. That is, they have asked to consider the suitable chart. So number of defectives were given. So we have constructed the P chart and the sample sizes were different. So we have used the control limits for the P chart with varying sample size. So today's class will go with the next problem. So coming to the question, an analyst takes 20 samples. So here an analyst is taking 20 samples of 200 each size. So each sample is of 200 and number of defectives are recorded. So here the number of samples is 20 samples are given of the size 200. All the samples are having the same sample size. So it is a fixed sample case only. So what are given? Defectives are recorded. That means DI values are recorded here. And we have to, now they have asked to construct the control limits by using the number of defectives chart. So here they are asking us to construct the control limits by using the number of defectives chart. So number of defectives chart means it is NP chart. So here we are going to do the problem related to NP chart. So in the sample size they have specified that each of size 200. So all the samples are having the same sample size. So it is a fixed sample case. So in this problem we are going to construct the NP chart with the fixed sample size. Now we are coming to the solution. So what is the solution? We have to construct the NP chart, right? So first write down the control limits for the NP chart. The 3 sigma control limits for NP chart. So what are the 3 sigma control limits for NP chart? UCL equals to N into P bar plus 3 into under root N into P bar into Q bar. In P chart you will get only P bar and in P chart P bar Q bar by N. So remember like that, NP chart means you will get N into P bar into Q bar. P chart means you will get P bar Q bar by N. Next CL equals to N into P bar. Similarly LCL equals to N into P bar minus 3 into under root N into P bar into Q bar. Now what is P bar value? P bar equals to 1 by K summation I equals to 1 to K Pi. What is Pi here? Pi is the fraction, that is proportion of defectives. Pi is the proportion of defectives. So what is the Pi value? Pi equals to Di by Ni. So here only the defectives are given. So by using those defectives we have to calculate the Pi's, and after calculating Pi we will be getting the P bar. But in the graph we are going to plot only the defectives. Here NP chart means it is also called as D chart. So D chart means defectives chart. So defectives are plotted here. In the last problem we have plotted Pi values. Here we will be plotting the Di values. So only Di's are necessary for graph purpose and Pi's are only for finding the average of the Pi values. That is P bar. Since it is unknown, we have to estimate the P bar, estimate the P value by using the average of the fraction defectives. So how will you get the average? First you have to get the Pi values. So instead of finding the Pi values, you can also take one more formula as here. What is the P bar value? P bar equals to 1 by K summation of Pi. What is Pi here? Pi equals to Di by N, right? So P bar equals to 1 by K summation of Di by N. Here fixed sample size, so you will get N only. So So it's a time consuming process. To save the time, you can calculate the P bar by using this formula. Anyhow, we don't need the Pi values to plot in the graph. So this can be done easily. So that from the exam point of view, don't think that all the Di values are given. Add those Di values, you will get summation Di. You have to compulsorily draw the box in the exam also. So if you draw the box, the representation will be good, so that you will be getting the good impression and the good marks also. So first, only defectors are given. So I will be writing the sample number. So we have total 22 samples. So 22 values I should write. In sample number, we have total 20 samples. So write all the 20 numbers in the sample number. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20. So after writing all the sample numbers, next you have to write the given defectives. So here next column is number of defectives. So number of defectives gives the Di values. In the bracket you can write Di. Next is write all the defectives given. First one is 9, next is 7, 14, 15, 8, 7, 9, 11, 16, 12, 20, 18, 11, 10, again 10, 15, 13, 9 and 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I have missed one value, I think. 9, 7, 14, 15, 8, 7, 9, 11, 16, 12, 20, 18, 11, 8, 10, 15, 13, 9 and 12. So these are all the given Di values. Now find out the summation of Di to find the P bar value. So add all the given values, that is 9 plus 7, 9 plus 7 plus 14, 15, 8, 7, 9, 11, 16, 12, 20, 18, 11, then 8, 10, again 10, next 15, 13, 9 plus 2. So you will get Di value as 234. So this is the summation Di value. So by using the summation Di only, we are going to get the P bar value. First calculate P bar value. P bar equals to 1 by k summation I equals to 1 to k. P you can write Di 1 by n into k into summation Di. Now substitute n and k and summation Di values. What is n value? They have given sample size. N is the sample size. Each of the size 200. So n value is 200 and k value is, that is number of samples, is 20. So P bar equals to 1 by 200 into 20 into summation DI value is 234. Now divide 234 with 200 into 20. You will be getting the answer as P bar equals to 0.05885. So this is the required P bar value. Next calculate Q bar. Q bar equals to 1 minus P bar, that is equals to 1 minus P bar is 0.0585. So therefore Q bar equals to 1 minus, that answer will get 0.9415. So now we got the P bar and Q bar values. Next we have to get the UCL, CL and LCL values. Now what is the UCL formula? UCL equals to N into P bar plus 3 into under root N into P bar into Q bar. So substitute all the values. N value is 200. So 200 into P bar value is 0.0585 plus 3 into, I am writing in next line because it may be not visible, 3 into under root 200 into P bar value is 0.0585 into Q bar value is 0.9415. Now find out this value. First 200 into 0.0585, you will be getting as 11.7 plus 3 into, find out this value, that is square root of 200 into 0.0585 into 0.9415. You will be getting as 3.3190 into 3. You get 9.95. So 11.7 plus 9.9569. You will be getting the required UCL value. So UCL of P chart equals to 21.65. 21.6559. You can write it as 21.66. So this is the required UCL value. Now find out the CL and LCL values. What is the CL formula? CL of P chart equals to N into P bar, that is 200 into 0.0585. So therefore CL of P chart equals to N into P bar value. We already got it as, that is 200 into 0.0585, you get it as 11.7. So CL value is 11.7. Next find out the LCL value. So LCL is N into P bar minus 3 into under root N into P bar into Q bar. So you get N into P bar means 200 into P bar value is 0.0585 minus 3 into under root 200 into 0.0585 into 0.9415. So we got these values already. This is 11.7 minus this value we got it as 9.9569. So 11.7 minus 9.9569, you will be getting the LCL of P chart equals to 1.7431. So we got the required UCL, CL and the LCL values. Next we have to Draw the graph for it. So write down the UCL CL values once. UCL of P chart is 21.66. CL of P chart is 11.7. LCL of P chart is 1.74. Now we'll draw the control chart for the NP chart. There are total 20 samples. So on the x-axis you have to take the scale very carefully. Now draw the NP chart with the heading NP chart. So we have total 20 samples. So on the x-axis you have to represent the 20 samples. So on the x-axis I am going to write the sample number. So total 20 samples. So I am taking the scale as 2 so that I can write it easily. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. So on the x-axis I took the scale as 2 units, and on the y-axis I have to represent the defectives, that is DI values. If you observe, the largest value of the defective is 20. So here we will be getting largest value 20 and the UCL largest value is 21. So you have to get the values up to at least 22. So here also plot the values up to 22. So here I am taking scale as only 1 unit so that I get the graph easily. So 121 point something, right? 22. So we took the values up to 22. So here on the y-axis we are going to plot the number of defectives. So right here number of defectives. So if it is P chart, you will be writing the proportion of defectives. Since it is a T chart, you have to write the number of defectives. So first plot the UCL value. What is the UCL? 21.66. So 21.66 is here. Sorry, UCL is a dotted line, right? So draw the dotted line. So this is the required UCL. What is the UCL value? 21.66. So write down here 21.66. So we got the UCL value. Next CL is 11.7. 11.7 near to 12. Draw a dark horizontal line. So this is the CL, that is 11.7. So here you write UCL of NP chart. CL of NP chart. And next LCL value. What is the LCL? 1.74. That is near to 2. 1.7. Draw the dotted line. So this is the required LCL for the NP chart, that is 1.74. So now we got the lines for the UCL, CL and LCL values. Now plot all the defectives, that is DI values. So first sample number 1, it is 9. So for first sample plot 9. Next second sample it is 7. Join it. Next for the next sample it is 14. 14. Next for the fourth sample it is 15. Next for the fifth sample, fourth sample 15. Next fifth sample is 8. Sixth sample it is 7. Seventh sample, after 7 we have 9, so next 9. For next sample it is 11. Next for next sample it is 16. For the next sample it is 12. Next sample is 20. So here it is 20. So for the next sample after 20 you have 18. After that the next one is 11. Then after that 8. Next after 8 you have 10. Next value is also 10. Next after that 15. Next value is 15. After that 13. 18th value is 13. Next 19th value is 9. Next the last 20th value is 12. So after joining all the points, this is the required control chart for the NP chart. So we have constructed the control chart. Next we have to write the inference, that is the conclusion for the control chart. So how will write the conclusion? We will take a decision by observing the points plotted on the control charts. So if you observe, what is the inference you are going to give here? So in the inference, so does all the points fall under UCL and below LCL? Yes, where all the points are below UCL and above LCL. So therefore, all the sample points, so all the sample points, that is the defectives, falls in between the UCL and LCL. So no value is going below UCL and no value is going above So what we will be doing in the NP chart? In the NP chart, the defectives will be given and we will be plotting the defective values only. So here is the advantage for NP chart is we don't need to calculate the PI values. Since we want P bar, but P bar can be calculated by using the formula P bar equals to 1 by n into k summation Di. So here you can get the less time for calculating the NP chart for the fixed sample size case. Wherever you have the NP chart for varying sample case, there you will be getting different UCLs and different CLs, different LCLs also. Keep practicing these problems because the problems you may be seen like all are similar, nothing will be there, only we have to plot the UCL, CL, LCL. But only while calculating only you can understand the problem very well. So as soon as you see the video, you start doing along with me. I am doing the problem along with you so that you can get a feel of doing it on the spot. So that's why I am doing it live on the class itself. While doing the class only I am calculating all the values. You also as soon as start the video, you write down the question. Whatever the question is given, you make a note of the table. Whatever the question is there, note down that question and write the procedure and follow along with me. So while I'm calculating that box, calculation box, even you also calculate that calculation box so that it will be easy for you to calculate the exam. If you keep on practicing, then only you can increase your speed, then only you can get a good results. So these values you feel very easy, but until and unless you calculate, you will not understand it. By seeing, even I feel that it is easy, but only while calculating you will be getting the difficulties. So all the point values, the values will be very minute. You will be having only the point values. So keep practicing it for this one. So this is, we got all the values for the, now in the first unit we have calculated all the charts, that is mean chart, range chart and S chart, P chart, NP chart. So from the next classes we will be starting our second unit, where second unit is a continuation for the first unit. Here we have constructed only in control chart for variables. There are 4 types of charts, right? So we have completed only P and NP charts. Still C and U charts are there. So second unit we will be starting in our next week classes.